The environmental left is so desperate for a win these days after a year of well-deserved losses that they've co-opted some of the more fun tactics we use here at the Rebel. And the best part, the hippies' latest stunt was made possible by our old friends, fossil fuels, and it gets about 7 miles to the gallon. Yesterday was the speech from the throne for the new government here in Alberta, the new Conservative government. It sets the tone for what was to come, and that was the announcement of Bill 1, the repeal of the carbon tax on May 30th. This makes Premier Jason Kenney just the latest in a wave of new carbon tax-fighting premiers lining up to take on Justin Trudeau, joining Premiers Scott Moe, Blaine Higgs, and of course, Doug Ford. You see, our side, we're winning all over the place, and I'm not getting tired of winning yet, which of course means the left is getting very, very desperate. But I never thought that I would see the day when they got so desperate that now they're adopting our tried and true tactics, like a beautiful Billboard truck. But I'll get to that in a second. First, let's talk about Green Party leader Elizabeth May, because she kicked off the week of green hypocrisy that was to come. She tweeted this just yesterday. To be very clear, we do not support a single additional barrel of output, a single additional well or offshore exploration. No fracking, a rapid transition off fossil fuels. Please join us. But here she is just days ago driving around in a parade in a V10 Dodge Viper, a sporty ride that, according to this letter to the editor, gets about 12 miles to the gallon when you're gassing up with premium. And according to this online converter site, about 5 kilometers to the liter or 20 liters to the 100 kilometers when translated into Canadian measurements. Okay, so that's how hypocritical the Canadian Green Movement is. V10s for them, bicycles for the rest of us. Now, did they learn anything from Loony Liz, who just spent the last few days trying to explain away why it was perfectly okay for her to use fossil fuels while the rest of us have to pay more to turn the furnace on when it's cold? Oh, heck no. Because the foreign-funded wackos are now idling around Vancouver in a cube van to fight, wait for it, climate change. Look at this from Burnaby now. Activists to hound Trudeau with Jumbotron today over Trans Mountain. And then the Billboard truck trailing Trudeau is shown to be emblazoned with an image of something the left loves to blame on climate change. A forest fire, which at least in BC are often the result of arson, but let's not let facts get in the way here. Anyway, the Burnaby Now story quoted a news release from an anti-pipeline environmentalist group called Protect the Inlet. British Columbians demanding real climate action are gathering outside the Opus Hotel in downtown Vancouver, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is holding a fundraiser. They will be accompanied by a Jumbotron that will follow Trudeau to his evening media event. Crowdfunded by Lead Now and Some of Us members, the Jumbotron will display a message reading, Trudeau, no pipelines in a climate emergency. Now about these two groups. Some of Us, despite their grassrootsy sounding name, is anything but. It's completely astroturfed, funded by the likes of the Anti-Oil Tides Foundation, Open Societies Foundation, and the Rockefeller Foundation. And Lead Now, as you'll recall, was behind the successful Vote Together campaign to stop Stephen Harper and are far less transparent about their funding than Some of Us, just so you know what we're dealing with here. Stand Earth, the anti-oil group formerly known as Forest Ethics and founded by anti-oil radical Sephora Berman, without a smidgen of self-awareness, tweeted about the truck and how it was following Trudeau around all day. Yes, these people are bragging about piling on the kilometers and idle time, but it's for Mother Gaia though, so it's fine. You know me, I love a good Billboard truck. I guess oil-hating former Notley employee Sephora Berman and I have at least that in common. I mean, Key and Bexley's beautiful. Anne McGrath Commie Hunter truck during the Alberta election campaign was one of my favorite things we have ever done here at The Rebel, and I'm glad to see more people adopting our highly effective fossil-fueled tactics. It only makes me want to use these Billboard trucks more, and I'm not telling anyone to live like a cave hermit to save the earth, but you know what? These environmentalists are, though. And again, according to that online conversion calculator that I used before, that works out to roughly 33.5 liters per 100 kilometers, or a third of a liter per kilometer for those people out there using Trudeau's old man's evil anti-American system of measuring fuel efficiency. But I thought these people could live without oil and gas. That's literally the message of their Billboard truck, that we're all going to die in about 11.5 years if we don't stop the construction of any more pipelines. They say it's a climate emergency, but here they are using a diesel guzzling cube van that chugs fuel like Liz May chugs NyQuil. You see, these people, they can't even make their point about how much we should all just hate oil and gas without using oil and gas. They are as addicted to oil and gas as I am, except I don't have a problem with it. In fact, I really love it. And I might take these people a little more seriously about their so-called climate emergency if they ever started acting like there was some sort of climate emergency. No, just kidding. I'll never do that. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Hey, did you know that there's yet another way to get your Rebel Media fix? All of our premium shows are available as downloadable podcasts. You can find them at therebel.media/listen or on any of your favorite podcast directories. And while you're there, be sure to leave us a 5-star review. It's a great way to help out the Rebel without ever having to spend a dime.